And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the sold-out Saitama Super Arena here in Saitama, Japan, it's time for our main event of the evening. Brought to you by Komosa AG, 12 rounds for the coveted Muhammad Ali Trophy, along with the IBF and WBA Super Bantamweight Championship of the World. Your three judges scoring this contest at ringside, as it is sanctioned by the WBA supervisor, Tashiyoshi Yashuchi. Also president from the WBA, Gilberto Jesus Mendoza. From the IBF supervisor, Ben Kilty. President is Daryl Peoples. Your three judges scoring this bout at ringside will be from Italy, Luigi Boscaleri. From the United States, Robert Hoyle. And from Mexico, Octavio Rodriguez. Your fourth judge, as given by the World Boxing Super Series from Germany, is Jörg Milk. And the referee in charge when the bell sounds from the United States is Ernest Sharif. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the fight for the Muhammad Ali Trophy is now. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner to my right. He comes in wearing the orange with the blue, weighing in officially at a ready 117.5 pounds. This incredible professional brings in an outstanding record consisting of 40 wins, 26 of those coming by way of knockout against 5 losses. Originally from Bohol, Philippines, now fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, USA. He is the 4-division world champion. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the Filipino Flash, Nonito Donaire. And across the ring, his opponent fighting out of the blue corner. He comes in wearing the gray trunks trimmed with the black and gold, weighing in officially at a ready 118 pounds. His professional record a perfect one, 18 bouts, 18 victories, 16 of those coming by way of knockouts. Fighting out of Yokohama, Japan. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the champion and the knockout sensation. He is the monster, Naoya Inoue. And your referee in charge here to give instructions is Ernest Sharif.
Fellas, receive your instructions in the dressing room. I want you to obey my commands at all times and protect yourselves at all times. Anything below this point is a low blow, so you're looking at the top of the trunks downward. Touch them up and go. Go.
It is billed as the monster versus the legend. That is exactly what it is. An 8-time 4-division champion on your screen. In the last throes of a sublime career. In many ways, the man opposite him represents the younger version of himself. Inoue's ripped through contenders as Donaire did over a decade ago. Tonight, he finds himself the elder statesman in arguably the biggest fight of his career. 12 rounds, WBA Super and IBF Bantamweight titles on the line, and the Muhammad Ali Trophy. Naoya Inoue, if he needed any introduction, in the grey shorts trimmed with black and yellow.
Intriguing contest this, it really is. Cautious start from both men in the opening 30 seconds. Powerful backhand, to the body of Inoue. I expect to see a lot of educated pressure from Donaire. Try and force Inoue back, try and get him thinking, get him working. If he can get this contest into the second half of the fight, I want to have done it knowing he's made Inoue work.
Well, he's got the reputation as an explosive pound-for-pound puncher, but he's so much more than that too. Reads patterns and sets traps so well. With Donaire, he's made adjustments into his 30s. Stiff right hand lands that time. And Donaire comes back with that famous left hook. Both men exchanging.
He's taken them well there, Donaire, hasn't he? Shrugged him off, he's still coming forward. Showing that tremendous heart he's shown in his previous contest. Lively start, good stuff from Inoue there.
Donaire has mixed it with the best of them. Remember that fabulous shootout with Nicholas Walters up at featherweight. His power carried all the way there too. Walters the only man really to hurt him in a contest. Back down at 118 pounds. He is, of course, the former owner of the WBC and WBO straps too. Stiff jab there from Inoue. Cagey, respectful, but when they go, they really go. Left hook upstairs, right hand to the body.
Like you say, Chris, that setting traps all the time. The variation's brilliant. Head, body.
And there was that check left hook from Donaire as Inoue stepped in. Just the warning signs for him that if he does overcommit, he will be tagged. What can you say about Donaire? He's never been overawed by an opponent, even when he's been outboxed or even hurt in a contest. He's happy to stand there and trade leather. Shown a brilliant chin over the years. He takes those feet back well with him to take the sting out of punches. How much of the young Donaire can he bring back for this one?
Good opening round there. Really exciting stuff. Inoue planting his feet, letting some big shots go. Credit to Donaire there. He took them, kept coming forward. This promises to be a good contest, as it really does. If Donaire is willing to stand there in front of Inoue. See the work here. Both jumped in with left hooks. It's the left hook of Inoue that landed.
Well, they also don't hook with a hooker. It applies to them both. They both did it in that first round. Donaire missed. Inoue landed, and it will be those margins, Darren, in a fight where one fighter has faded from the best of his former self. That could be the difference. Inoue just finding his range, a little better of the two. 20,000 in the Super Arena Saitama. Just a fight that you cannot blink, Darren. Either man have got a game-changing punch that could land at any moment. Donaire just feints upstairs, looks for that jab to the body. Starting a little more aggressively in this round.
Yeah, he is. He does favour the aggressive style of boxing. He does like to hold the centre of the ring, though he is comfortable on the back foot. Does a majority of his work going forward, pressing the pace. What that does allow, sorry Chris, is Inoue, when he does stand there, is able to take a step back and try and counter Donaire.
It was Donaire who was the trap setter in the glory years of his career. As Inoue lands that left hook a couple of times. Donaire's taking it really well.
It's just a lovely left hook there, delivered with real spite and snap. We see there, he puts everything into his shots, Inoue. No wonder that we've seen so many knockouts, 16 KOs. A good left hook seems to stagger Donaire there.
Knocked him off balance. As Donaire hurt, comes back with a 1-2 through the centre of the guard. Right hook to the body. And another. Intriguing opening round and a half.
You see Inoue now. Quiet start to the round, but now he's starting to walk forward, starting to plant his feet a bit more. Starting to really let the shots go. He's really happy to trade with Donaire. He knows he carries the power.
Donaire naturally the bigger man, of course. This is a unification fight, so there was no rehydration clause per the IBF. That will suit Donaire more than it will Inoue, who's come up from the weight divisions.
Not a great deal in sizes there, but you can see Donaire slightly taller, slightly bigger. But the bigger punch is certainly Inoue in there.
It's just the ones that Donaire isn't able to read, but he's walking through them so far. Catches Inoue on the chin, short left hook. Inoue tried to hang on there.
So I mean, if Donaire is trying to get this into the later rounds, it's so important he does it, dictating the pace, making Inoue work, so when he does get him into that second half of the contest, he's made him work an awful lot. This is good work, really showing his experience here. Taking the sting out of shots, walking forward, good variation of shot, using his angle, stepping to the left and right of Inoue. Good stuff from Donaire.
Well, Inoue's so used to these landing and opponents falling. It's the first time where that hasn't happened in this tournament so far. Donaire has eaten flush leather and shown very little of consequence by way of being hurt. Just staggered earlier on in this round, but
Some blood.
he's cut Inoue with that left hook. No other fighter in the tournament has done that, got out of the second round, and blood coming from above the right eye too. We'll try and get a shot of that shortly and see how bad the cut is. Well.
This will be interesting now. I hope it's not a bad cut. I hope it doesn't ruin this contest. Trying to see, I did miss the shot. I don't know if it was a shot or a head, but that was a good left hook from Inoue. And here we see...
That was the one that took him off balance. Here comes the left hook.
There we go, it was a shot.
And that's the one that cut. It opened immediately. We saw his younger brother in action, his first world title tilt against Nordin Ubali, unsuccessfully taken into deeper waters than he ever has been. It would be a huge upset, but will this man face adversity he hasn't yet seen in his career against a man 1 week short of his 37th birthday? Donaire back at centre ring. So far, Darren, he's not given Inoue the data and the patterns that some of his previous opponents have in order for him to fully take advantage. He's got that right glove high above that cut, just trying to shield it from perhaps another left hook.
Well, it's just the experience of Donaire. You know, forget the fact for a second that Inoue is a 4-weight world champion. The experience that he's gathered in, you know, the 45 fights that he's had is invaluable here, you know. Really trying to old man and out-hustle Inoue. Like I say, try and pressurise him, put him in places he's never been before.
So a little low with the right hand there from Donaire. Referee just warning him of that. It's interesting to see Inoue not the bigger, stronger man, with blood from the nose now too.
Positive signs here from Donaire. He'll feed off of these. Trying to plant some negative seeds in the mind of Inoue.
These were, of course, the question marks that so far are just being answered by Nonito Donaire. Back down at 118 pounds, arguably a more natural weight division for him. And come up from flyweight all those years ago. He fought well at feather and super bantam, but really because of his power he was able to fight up at those divisions, not naturally places where his body needed to be. It was a lovely counter there from Inoue. He's just starting to get his range, tries to exit to the left, then the right. Donaire matching his footwork, keeping him against the ropes. Left hook to the body.
Good stuff, good positive stuff from Donaire. Really is, you know, there's always that worry that someone like Inoue can get carried away with their own hype. You know, that's understandable, and you do want to feed off of the confidence that that brings, but there's a worry that when you're in there with someone experienced like Donaire, that doubt can start creeping in. You know, am I that good? This is good stuff from Donaire, it really is, you know, forcing the pace, putting pressure on Inoue that we've never seen before.
30 seconds to go in round number 3. And who would have thought this? In a neck-and-neck encounter, Inoue just trying to find his distance and range. He's landed clean shots, no doubt about it. So far, it's Donaire who's been the boss. Coming forwards, landing leather. He's cut the man who ripped through opponents en route to the final. Left hook just on the way out, but then he eats one as he stepped back in. Through 3 rounds, Darren, how have you got it so far?
Give Donaire the last 2 rounds, so I've got 2-1 up. Good positive stuff. Absolutely nothing to worry about. If you're an Inoue fan, you know, the cut doesn't look like a bad one. The corner's done well. See the blood coming out the nose or the mouth of Inoue there, but it's just that experience has shown. And these first 3 rounds from Donaire, just out-hustling Inoue, throwing some good shots. Misses there with a left hook. There's then reactions of Inoue. I'm surprised he didn't come back with a quick counter shot, but good, lively opening 3 rounds.
Not a concern for Donaire, of course, is that there are so many examples of fighters unable to beat Father Time, going all the way back to Joe Louis, Jim Jeffries, Ezra Charles, Sugar Ray Robinson too. Difficult to watch the last throws of Roy Jones' career. We wouldn't want Donaire to be in that situation. So far, not only is he being competitive, he is exceeding expectations in the twilight of his career.
Yeah, you know, I guess he is raising question marks, people questioning, you know, their predictions in previous fights, but I'm sure someone like Donaire would have been extremely confident in his own ability. He knows full well that he can come over here and upset the local crowd and upset the local fighter. Still an awful long way to go, but he started very positively, making Inoue think all the time, not allowing him on the front foot. Constant pressure with his footwork. Good stuff. Good short left hook went in and again from Inoue.
Better work from Inoue. Notice he's got those hands high for the first minutes of each round since the cut. That will be to just try and let those coagulants and work by his cut man settle in. Not an easy task, and Mike Basil in the other corner may well be called into action for Nonito Donaire at some point too. Been in his corner for a decade now as well. Lovely left hook, right hand, beg your pardoners. Donaire stepped in there. He's taking a lot of these clean, Darren.
Yeah. It's good work from Inoue. What he's doing is he's making Donaire fall short and countering with good shots, crisp shots. You see every time Inoue throws a shot, it's razor sharp, full of power. You see there, good backhand, right. Boxing nice on the back foot here.
He's having to work harder than perhaps he would have liked at this stage in the contest. Donaire walking forward into another shot, but continually pushing Inoue backwards. And if this does go into the second half of the fight, Darren, as you said, was Donaire's plan, this is the kind of pace he would have wanted to set to test the engine of the younger champion.
Absolutely. You don't want, with that game plan, Inoue dictating the pace, getting into the second half of the contest, not having to have done much. So he's still fresh himself. Good lateral movement there from Donaire, evading the shots from Inoue. But yeah, it's all going to plan so far for Donaire, in my opinion. Though Inoue's coming back here, boxing nice on the back foot. Donaire would be extremely pleased with how the first 4 rounds have gone.
Landed a nice counter right hand just as Inoue was on the turn there, exiting to his left-hand side. But as you say, Inoue just in the ascendancy. That was the shot that just landed. It's really heating up. Stiff jab to the body, just parried away. Donaire feints into range again. Round 4, better from Inoue, still competitive.
Yeah, extremely competitive. It really was a good round. You know, Inoue, I've given it to, but at the end there, Donaire landed a good couple of shots, counter right hand over the lazy jab of Inoue. But this was the good right overhand right.
Didn't take it full though, did he?
No, he didn't.
Glancing blow.
You notice a lot with experienced fighters, they're able to take the sting out of shots. We see there, that was a good slip over the jab of Inoue, and he landed a good right hand. And again, similar to Donaire, Inoue managed to take the sting out of it and roll under the left hook. So beginning of round number 5. Not many would have predicted that
it will go that far, and perhaps doing a disservice to Donaire's experience and credentials over the last 19 years of action. Steps in, and Inoue just took the sting out of that right hand. Inoue just starting to see these shots coming a little bit better. It's when they stand and trade on the inside that Donaire has the most success. He's been countering on the exit really well too.
As a far, Inoue is not really interested in trading at the minute with Donaire, is he? He's happy to sort of move around the outskirts of the ring, try and pick these counter shots, counter left hook there.
That staggered Donaire. His hand position was responsible, but something got through on that left hook.
You know, I touched on it earlier on the show, you know, the fact that Inoue, that's a good right hand. Donaire took that very well because that was flush. The fact that Inoue had 48 knockouts as an amateur is incredible. It really is, you know, a born puncher. Absolute animal, but here Donaire's taking some of his best shots, showing what a warrior he is, and he'll be happy, like I say, how this contest is going so far.
Donaire, who left long-time trainer Robert Garcia in 2014, just felt he was becoming a little too over-reliant on the one punch to get him out of trouble. It did against Vic Darchinyan in the second fight. It nearly did against Guillermo Rigondeaux in the championship rounds. That punch hasn't waned one bit, and arguably, Darren, the shots that he has landed have just created a bit of early tentativity in Inoue we haven't seen before, and he's had to work his way back into this contest.
He has. He's working off the jab really well, got the jab going, head and body, lovely, with real snap, making Donaire think a little bit more about the shots. There you go, see the jab there, beautiful, but over the top of right hand comes Donaire.
Well, fair to say that through this fifth round, both have been chin checked on multiple occasions. Both have passed the test so far, but only one needs to land flush from either man, and it could be all over in the blink of an eye. Both semi-finals were for both of the men in the final, and just as we say it, the right hand lands, and it's staggered Nonito Donaire, who fires back with a left hook. Inoue, sensing the moment, steps on him now. How much of this is Donaire seeing coming? Covers up, rolls, but his legs are not what they were. Another right hand lands. Moments to the bell as Inoue opens up. Check left hook from Donaire. He's firing away, but he is hurt here. Be under no illusions, and saved by the bell, perhaps, the old champion. Best round for Naoya Inoue. And just as we were saying, one shot can change the pattern of a fight. It did exactly that.
Big round for Inoue there. Come out of nowhere, absolutely nowhere. Big right hand over the top. Really was a lovely shot. I think Donaire switched off for a second, but we see the concentration there. Oh, it was a left hook, started it on. I think it was a big overhand right that really stunned Donaire. But again, credit to the chin of Donaire. He took it well, but that was a big round. And there we go, there's the right hand. Lovely shot over the jab. The knees buckled of Donaire. Big round for Inoue.
The left hand was low, he was in range. And well, he hung on. How much longer can he hang on? How hurt is he? Only he will know the answer to that, but the crowd have responded. Inoue will be too respectful of the man in front of him to go gung-ho at this point, because he knows the power that's in front of him. He knows the danger that lies in over-committing, getting greedy. And I think Donaire has shown his good powers of recovery over the years too. Round 6 then of a fascinating encounter here in the 118-pound tournament final.
He won't want to let Donaire off the hook that easily though. He won't want to look, if this was to go further on, he won't want to look back at this round and regret. So I expect Inoue to start letting his shots go very shortly, looking to counter that jab of Donaire. It was the right hand in the previous round that really stunned Donaire.
Kalle Sauerland at the back of shot can be hugely proud of the fights that this tournament has brought together. Taylor and Prograis, not too long ago, produced a classic, this in a different way, because perhaps we expected it from Prograis and Taylor. We didn't necessarily know that this would be the type of fight we'd be watching between Naoya Inoue and Nonito Donaire. By a long way, the toughest test Inoue has been put through. Questions have been asked of him by a man nearly a decade, over a decade his senior.
Really is a great matchup, this, you know, youthly experience. Both carry extremely good power. Both so eager to lift that Muhammad Ali trophy. Been a superb 5.5 rounds.
When Donaire hooks with him is when he appears to be in danger. Inoue finding his range better and better as the fight progresses. Now just picking the jab, a weapon that is so versatile for him these days and was so much in the past for Donaire. But are we just starting to see the old champion ground down as he walks into another counter right hand?
He still looks fairly comfortable, but Inoue is starting to find the target a bit easier now. Cannot afford to throw that jab out slowly, Donaire. It's been that right hand over the top there, as we see it, that's really stunned him in the previous round.
Remarkable that he's still standing in front of him, just snaps his head back there, given the leather that he's taking. And as mentally strong as we know Naoya Inoue to be, that will be staying with him a touch. 10 seconds, Clapper to take us into the second half of the fight. Inoue lands a check left hook there. Donaire with his hands low, and back to the corners they go. Darren, halfway point of the contest, how have you got it?
Yeah, I've got Inoue a couple up. Really start to get to work the last couple of rounds. It was a good round back from Donaire, but a round that I think Inoue won. Really heating up nicely. So intriguing, it really is. Good work there. Starting to plant his feet a bit more and trade in close quarters with Donaire.
All the while he sees those shots coming, Darren, he seems to be able to ride them and deal with them. It's the ones that he doesn't see, and they're the ones where the traps are set, the patterns are established, that pattern is broken, and then Inoue fires through. That's where Donaire could be hurt.
Yeah, absolutely. Inoue is very clever and crafty at making his opponent think that nothing's going on, and all of a sudden, bang, he comes back with a big, big shot.
Well, regardless of the outcome, Nonito Donaire can be hugely proud of the way he's equipping himself in this. We wondered whether it would be a fight that would cement his legacy. That, of course, is already cemented. He'll be, no doubt, a first ballot Hall of Famer in years to come. That invitation will arrive in the post, but he will be remembered tonight, win or lose, as the man who posed some serious tests for a young champion that many thought had that cloak of invincibility that so many fighters do on their way up. It just takes one contest to remove that veil of invincibility. No doubt for Inoue, he is having to go to places so far that he hasn't been in his professional career before. It's good to see as well.
Absolutely, you know, and regardless of the result, this will hold him in good stead. Having experienced, you know, a cut eye and being forced back at times, not having things your own way does help you and does help your progress moving forward.
Stiff exchange of jabs. Oh, lovely double jab right hand there from Donaire, but again, Inoue saw it, rode the shot. Counter left hook to the body.
Concentration level on both fighters. Something to be very impressed with. You know, they understand split second, it can all be over. This jab of Inoue has been a good weapon. So sharp, very quick, very spiteful. Good work again from Donaire coming forward. Such a warrior, isn't he?
For weight division world champion. 5 if you include that WBA interim title. He won at super flyweight. Many people choose not to, that's absolutely fine either way. It's fair to say he's achieved everything that he could have in his long career. But Inoue now starting to turn the heat up with 45 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, the spiteful shots, Chris. Planting his feet, really trying his best to back Donaire back.
As we said earlier, Darren, Donaire will be seeing some of these shots coming and he will see the patterns of movement. It's a case of whether his body at nearly 37 can respond in the way that it did. He's taking shots that he probably wouldn't have taken in the early days. He's been caught with things. His feet are noticeably slower for those that have followed his long career, but that's to be expected. It's about how the greats of boxing adapt, to the likes of Roberto Duran, Harry Holmes, even old Archie Moore, who went on late in the day, and it was those fundamentals that became the core of an older fighter when the attributes of speed, of feet and reflexes were stripped away. You see what a fighter's really made of. We're seeing what Nonito Donaire is really made of tonight.
Absolutely. But like I said in the round, you know, he's an absolute warrior. I'll also give credit, huge credit, to both guys' chins. You know, this is a question mark that was raised over Inoue's chin. Would he be able to take a shot? Would he be able to take the power of Donaire? But he has, you know. Though I wouldn't say he's taken a huge flush shot from Donaire, he has definitely taken some big right hands and took them well.
Kenny Adams is in the corner of Nonito Donaire tonight. Probably best described more as a boxing institution than just a trainer these days. He's coached over 25 world champions: Diego Corrales, Frankie Lyles, Michael Nunn, Johnny Tapia, Edwin Valero, of course, until he passed. And at 79 years of age, in the long career that he's had and everything that he has seen, this arguably one of his toughest assignments. So far, they've put together a solid game plan, and they are right in this.
They are indeed. It's about staying switched on. Increase the work rate now. Turn the screw, really get to work, try and pin Inoue back, try and get him onto the ropes. He's very good with his footwork, Inoue. Takes the space away from his opponent so well. But that's a good right hand.
Lovely stiff double right hand there. Inoue just steps off for a moment. The poker face is on, but he felt those.
I thought he was stunned for a second there, but he took it very well. Another good overhand right. A little bit clumsy from Inoue. Let his hands drop a couple of times. He's taken some good shots from Donaire.
Donaire lasering in with that right hand. He's landed 5 or 6 in the last half a minute. But Inoue, a champion's response, sticks that left hook into the body, tries to maintain that gap. As Donaire just sensing a bit of a momentum shift in round 8. Jab exchange, right hand counter though from the old champion. This is terrific stuff.
It really is. Both thinking, both letting their shots go. It's brilliant, brilliant stuff.
Who'd have believed we'd have been into round 8 of this contest with both freely trading leather, and neither man have gone down. I don't know what the odds would have been on it. Wouldn't have got much though. And now comes Inoue again with a minute on the clock, as he just weathered that mini storm in the second minute of the contest. Rallies himself for a big finish perhaps to round number 8. Blood just starting to trickle down that eye. They've done a really good job in the corner of managing it so far. Oh, stiff right hand there from Donaire, and every time you think Inoue's getting back on top, Donaire just reminds him why his reputation as a puncher is as it is. Uppercut, left hook, and Inoue responded, and that blood really now starting to pour. And is it going into the eye? Could that be a problem? Right hand from Donaire now. Big round.
These are really encouraging signs for Donaire. The blood flowing into the eye. You may see Donaire throw the left hook a bit more now. He's been able to find the target, the chin of Inoue, quite easy this round. Good stuff from Donaire, really showing his experience and class.
Well, with this round in the bank, we think for Donaire it could be close on the cards, and if that cut impedes the vision, the blood running into the eye, you just never know if we go to the scorecard before this one is over.
There's that jab, but back comes Donaire. Quick, snappy right-hand counter. Beautiful stuff. And it's these little short left hooks that are making that cut open up. We see inside there. And honestly, any boxer out there, anyone who's had blood trickle into the eye, it is horrible. It really does sting and makes it hard to have clear vision. So like I said before, I expect Donaire to start throwing that left hook a bit more, and it's not a great cut right on the eyelid of Inoue.
Well, round 9 of a contest that you cannot take your eyes off here in Saitama, Japan, just 20 miles north of Tokyo. And while Japan has spent a month and a half with the eyes of the world watching the Rugby World Cup, tonight is boxing's time to shine on the centre stage, and, well, aren't they putting on a show for us?
Great action, it really is. Cannot take your eyes off this for a second.
Stiff right hand again from Donaire.
Yeah, he just can't miss with that right hand, can he? Donaire, though that it's not full leverage and full power in the right hand, he has been able to find the target.
The left eye of Donaire just beginning to swell a little bit. Check left hook from Inoue. He's been remarkably steadfast given some of the punches he's taken. And we're so used to seeing fighters fall after the snap of the punch lands that it's almost a little bit disconcerting to see a man stand his ground and throw back.
Oh!
Counter right hand from Nonito Donaire.
Wow!
Inoue rocked to his boots, and Donaire now just sensing a moment here in round number 9. But he knows that he can't rush in. He knows he has to be careful, but he's got Inoue hurt here. Minute 30 on the clock, plenty of time to set his shots up, jabs his way in. All eyes are on the old champion. Stiff right hand lands yet again. Inoue takes it, tries to come back with a counter of his own.
Another right hand. This is not in the script, Chris. This is incredible stuff from Donaire. Big right hand over the jab of Inoue. Really stunned him for a second, but credit to the chin of Inoue. But this is really, really encouraging stuff for Donaire.
Very few picked him to win. One was the last man to beat him, Carl Frampton. That was at featherweight, and he said, do not underestimate the power of this man, and if you do so at your peril. And he's carried it all the way back down to 118. He hurt Frampton in the last throws of a fight that the Irishman largely dominated. But he is right in this against a man who many gave him virtually no chance against at all.
The face is a mess now of Inoue. Lots of blood from the eye and the nose. Having an awful lot to think about here. Really, really good stuff from Donaire. Honestly, really showing all his experience and know-how and class.
Well, it was a fight that he actively sought out 18 months ago. Called him out, not in a disrespectful way. He obviously just saw something that he felt he could take advantage of. Perhaps he remembers the strength he had back down at 118 pounds and just felt he wanted one last opportunity to show how great he was. And he has dragged Naoya Inoue into the deepest waters of his career here.
Yeah, without a doubt. You know, there's a huge amount of, I mean, wow. That's a lovely right hand. Really, really was.
And Inoue tried to hang on, but Donaire again wily, didn't let him.
There we go, right on the chin. I mean, that was a lovely shot. He took it so well, Inoue. Though he was hurt, he managed to grab hold of him and sort of slow things down. But that was a great round for Donaire. You know, I was about to say, you know, huge pressure on Inoue. Absolutely none on Donaire. Only the pressure that he would have put on himself. So you can go in here and just do your thing. He understands how good it is and he appreciates what a good fighter he is. and he's showing it now.
Into round number 10, and it's neck and neck. As those easier contests that ended early helped the older champion to go into this fresher than he otherwise might have been had he got through them under more difficult circumstances. We know Inoue is fresh. He's the young, hungry puncher, as Donaire was all those years ago. But the elder statesman has been moved nicely to this final. And what reserves he does have left, he's going to leave in the ring tonight, but Inoue knows he has to start strongly here. Perhaps he senses that he even may be behind.
I've got Inoue one up, but the momentum 100% and definitely with Donaire. But it's a good positive round to the start of round number 10 for Inoue. He's come out, but back comes Donaire. It's a good jab.
Nice counter right, then the left hand off the back of it from Donaire. Inoue rips to the body, head snapped back by that left hand, which has served him so well over the years.
Again, Donaire stalking his man. Good right hand again. Inoue takes the sting out of it, but still it's a landing shot, scoring shot.
Inoue just taking a walk here, being forced back, trying to get Donaire to have to reset, try to make those older legs work. But so far they're working well. Perhaps the one thing Inoue banked on was his power offsetting the rhythm of Donaire, and he has had his attention more than once. But for him to still be there, still firing back, and arguably in the ascendancy, must be mentally playing with the mind of Naoya Inoue in there.
Yeah, absolutely. When you've been destroying everyone in front of you with ease, and you've probably got everybody telling you how good you are and what a great fighter you are, all boxing experts classing you as one of the best out there, and it must be hard to not believe your own hype, and doubt can kick in, when you're in a contest like this and you've got an experienced champion in front of you who really believes in himself. Doubt can kick in, but this is good stuff from Inoue.
Terrific combination on the inside. Donaire goes a little flat-footed for the first time in a while. Inoue just picking and moving now, but he's picking with force, looking for that exit to the left, does so well. Inoue just trying to catch him on the turn. Is he just slowing a little?
Oh, good right hand.
And this is now Inoue's round.
Oh, and again.
But he hurt Donaire there, and he did. Right hand, left hook, then another right hand. Donaire just inching back for the first time in the round. Inoue starting to pick those shots. The bell came at just the right time.
What a fight, honestly, brilliant. And look at Inoue, what a warrior, an absolute monster, getting the crowd going. That was a great finish to round 10 for Inoue there. Honestly, great stuff. He stunned Donaire with a big overhand right. It was a short right, actually, over the top. And again, credit to Donaire. He was still there, but he was definitely stunned. And the home fans like that one.
Well, let's have a look at it. It was the jab that just set the shot up, blinded his vision. And he rode that one pretty well.
Pretty sure it was a short right hand that come in. Good jab from Donaire there, but it was the end of the round that was so good for Inoue. Good left to the body, didn't actually see the shot that stunned Donaire shortly, but it's great round.
Every bit as good as we had hoped it had the potential to be. Of course, there were those saying it would be over in a couple. We, of course, didn't think it would be, but deep down, you just know that when you have two guys that can switch the lights out at any stage, you really wouldn't be surprised if we'd been having the kettle on over 20 minutes ago now, but we're still here, championship rounds. Right, Inoue, Donaire is hurt here. He's dealing with it well, but Inoue will sense the shots landing cleanly because Donaire not taking his feet back with him.
This is superb stuff from Inoue. What variation, head, body, these right hands, you cannot miss at the minute. Worrying times for Donaire. Lovely work from Inoue. This is class. This really is good stuff.
Donaire desperately trying to get back on that jab, establish the range, push Inoue backwards, just give himself a breather by whatever means necessary. He's yet to hold though. Pops that right hand from southpaw momentarily. Can box southpaw, doesn't do so very often.
Listen to the home crowd now, really get behind him. That's a lovely left to the body. Lovely shot. I don't know what the ref's doing. Oh, he's counting now. That was a lovely left to the body, Chris.
Well, he's down for only the third time in his career. It was respectful from Inoue, who let him walk away. 1 minute 35. Has he made the count? He's up. And the referee says box on. Is the end nigh here? Donaire digging deep.
He's really hurt.
Tries to hang on. Inoue opening up for the finish. He's working upstairs. Is he looking for one more big left to the body? It's a long, long time to survive in there for the old champion, who's acquitted himself so brilliantly over the last 11 rounds. But is this the end? Check left hook now. He's hurt Inoue. And Donaire just stops the momentum in its tracks, as we knew he could. Reads the left hook.
He's still feeling that body shot, Donaire. Struggling to move, get out of the way of the shots from Inoue.
Well, the left hand that's got him out of jail so many times in his career just halted momentum for a moment, but as Inoue regathered himself for one final onslaught. 38 seconds.
What a fight. This really is, what a contest.
A modern classic in Saitama. As Inoue opens up again, sinks the left into the body. Donaire thought about taking a second knee, but he stays up. And this minute and a half will have seemed like an age for the old champion as Inoue pours forward, right hand lands, 10 seconds on the clock. Can Donaire see out the round here? Digs that right hand into the body. Remarkable, remarkable round. One of the best rounds of the year so far, Dan. What a pleasure to call.
That was amazing. That really was great stuff from Inoue there. Superb and amazing bravery shown from Donaire. That was class. That round there was worthy of any final, any fight, anywhere. It was fantastic.
Well, you talk about the great rounds in history of boxing. People will look back on this one as one of them. Donaire turning away there.
Really didn't want to go down there, Donaire, but that delayed reaction that you get a lot of the time from body shots, I know myself, they're sickeners, and credit to Donaire, he got up, and he did at some point in that round land a short left hook that stunned Inoue for a second, but that was a massive, massive round for Inoue.
Well, remarkably, he's the first man to his feet, Nonito Donaire. It has been a classic, and the respect between these two will only have grown after tonight. Inoue so nearly got Donaire out of there in the last round. Can Donaire see out the 12? You feel he deserves to.
Absolutely, but being the champion that he is, the fighter, the warrior that he is, he'll still try and win this, so don't expect Donaire to let some big shots of his own go. He's behind on the scorecard, so he needs a massive, he needs a stoppage.
Well, long left hook just gave Inoue pause for thought for a moment there. Opens up with those combinations again. He knows that left hook to the body. If it lands one more, how many more times can Donaire absorb those? He's got 2 minutes to do so, but he comes forward again. Powers of recovery, remarkable.
Absolutely, they really are, and credit and take my hats off to the preparation that must have gone in for this contest, because they're both still in there, still throwing big shots.
Well, he's got Mike Basil and Kenny Adams in his corner these days, Donaire, and two disciplinarian strength and conditioning experts too. He would have whipped himself into as good a shape, condition-wise, perhaps as he's ever been, and the proof has been in the pudding. His work rate has rarely dropped, but it's Inoue now who's in the ascendancy. This is ebbed and flowed from start to finish. Both have had their moments. The moment now is for Inoue. It's just this where age and youth and sharpness and strength comes into it. Just trying to break the will of Donaire. Get the sense, Darren, we may be watching the last minute of the career of Nonito Donaire. Whatever these scorecards show, just got the feeling of perhaps the last time he may do this. And if it is, what a servant he's been, a credit to the sport of boxing over the last nearly 2 decades as a professional.
Absolutely, and it won't be long before he's inducted into the Hall of Fame. It's a good finish from Inoue, it really is. He's shown and he's answered lots of questions, he really has. He's a great champion.
Both so popular in Japan, and of course the fans will want their hometown hero to win this one, but I think secretly, Darren, given the legendary status of Donaire, all he's done for the sport of boxing, they will want him to finish on his feet. Inoue simply will not. 25 seconds to go in a quite memorable encounter here in Saitama. Donaire just willing himself forwards for one final time.
This has been, honestly, a great contest. One of the best fights I've seen. I've enjoyed this, I really have. It's been amazing, and hats off to both guys. Fantastic stuff.
Well, they go toe-to-toe to the final bell, smiles all round. So much better than any fan could have predicted. A modern classic between these two. Inoue will believe he's done enough there, but my goodness, he was pushed to the outer limits far harder than perhaps he ever anticipated.
There's just so much credit that we have to give to both contests. Look at that cut there that Inoue suffered so early on, and to come back was amazing. And for Donaire, you know, the heart, what a warrior. I mean, it was incredible. He was always in there, always looked dangerous. At one point, not far past the halfway stage, I had Inoue up 1 and Donaire on the ascendancy, looking very good, but back come Inoue, showing his class, showing his worth, showing why he's one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world. It was honestly amazing stuff. Hats off to both guys. That was incredible.
Well, we saw his younger brother Takuma Inoue fall short against Nordine Bali. He learnt a lot of world-level lessons tonight. Naoya Inoue, if he comes through this, will owe Nonito Donaire a great debt of gratitude for the lessons that no doubt he has taught him tonight.
Absolutely, you know, that's all what was lacking in the resume of Inoue was experience, and what he would have learned this evening will be invaluable. You cannot buy this. You know, it's all well and good putting bums on seats and knocking guys out, but that 12 rounds right there against a 4-weight world champion will go and hold him in great stead. Look at the respect there. That's tremendous. That really is. Both great champions, both great guys, great ambassadors for the sport. And you see there, that's why this is the greatest sport in the world. Look at that, you know, 2 guys go to war for 12 rounds and then embrace each other like that. That's why I love this sport.
From Hooker Ramirez to Taylor Prograis, we have been thoroughly spoiled with unifications this year.
After 12 championship rounds, we go to the scorecards. Here are your score totals. Judge at ringside, Luigi Boscaleri has it 116-111. Otavio Rodriguez, 117-109. And Robert Hoyle scores the bout, 114-113. For your winner of the coveted Muhammad Ali Trophy and the IBF and WBA Ring Magazine Bantamweight Champion of the World, still undefeated, Naoya, the Monster Inoue!
Well, there was a look of relief on his face as his hand was raised. Who are those cards? A little wide, Darren, the 114-113, perhaps a little more reflective of what we saw.
Yeah, I had Inoue by a few there, not as quite as wide as the first scorecard there, but that was great.
A Japanese boxing legend.
So the Muhammad Ali Trophy about to be presented.
Masahiko fighting Harada.
So fighting Harada, regarded as the best Japanese boxer of all time. He's the Japanese Boxing Association President, Boxing International Hall of Famer. From one Japanese legend to a young man that is fast becoming the next. Naoya Inoue wins the Muhammad Ali Trophy and unifies the WBA Super and IBF Bantamweight Championships of the world. A tremendous contest, and he got through it.
He did. We've held that trophy, Chris. We know how heavy that is, so to be able to carry that after the war that he's just had.
When you're 118 pounds as well.
Yeah, so it's another pat on the back from me to Inoue. But that, honestly, I'm in awe of what I've just watched there. I mean, the last two finals, this one and Taylor Prograis, honestly, Sauerland brothers can be extremely proud of what they've created here, because you know they were superb finals that are worthy of any title, anything laid on the line. That was tremendous stuff, and you know the home fans will be absolutely delighted that the local man, their hero, their warrior has come through.